Hello gorgeous, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going over my most recent chopping block, declutter. Let's clean out the makeup that we're not using or that has expired, decide what can stay, what can go, and then pick some new guys. I have lots of makeup in front of me. I'm gonna put a full face together. If that sounds like fun, just keep watching. I do have my brows on already, just to save time, and I chose the Sephora retractable brow pencil. I have mine in the shade medium brown. I like this brow pencil. The Sephora semi-annual sale is coming up. I wanted to make sure that my favorites for my recommendations video are still my favorites, and yeah, this is definitely in my rotation. I like this brow pencil and it's affordable. For eyeshadow primer, this one from Juvia's Place, this I Prep I Prime eye primer in the shade 2 was in my chopping block, and I'm sad to say I am gonna let it go for two reasons. Number one, it's old. Number two, the shade is too dark. Would I repurchase it? Probably, but definitely in a lighter shade. For today, I picked out this Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. I don't have any complaints about this eyeshadow primer. I recommend it often. You should know that it doesn't give a lot of coverage on your lids, but it does set them up for shadow beautifully, and the price is right. I picked this for my chopping block, Shop My Stash, because it is almost empty. I didn't have any eyeshadow palettes in my chopping block that I did in August, so I just picked out one that I felt needed a little more love. This is a great high-end fall recommendation. This is the Tarte Maneater After Dark. Gorgeous packaging, and this is a very, I believe, fall-inspired palette. I'm gonna take my AOA E129. I'm gonna go into this Mischievous shade, which is a nice peachy color, and just structure out my crease with this shade. Maybe even just above the crease, I would say. Now I'll take a Wayne Goss 19, and I'm gonna go into this Moody shade, which is more of a plummy purple to match my top. I'm going deeper into the crease with that and just pulling it a little bit forward. Just soft motions and then pressing into that deepest area of the crease. And don't be afraid to go back in where you've already been, just to reintroduce the color, in case you've lost it with the next one, to do a little bit more blending. I want to keep it with the orange and the plum. Let me look at this heated. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm gonna put that right in the middle. Oh my, just reminded of how gorgeous this palette is. And then in that inner, I want to go with more of a plum. Let's look at this Feeling Myself. How about Intense? Pretty close. Let's go with Intense. Oh, that's pretty. I want to deepen that outer corner. I don't think I do. I'm going to take my JennDBeauty EO5 and just take that Mischievous on the bottom. For primer, in my chopping block, I had placed this one from Shop Miss A. This is the Cosmic Cowgirl Skin Grip Primer. It is inexpensive. I wasn't paying attention to it, and it's a nice primer. Not great for oil control. I would call it more hydrating than mattifying, and after making myself play with it for the last 6 weeks, I want it to stay. So that's good news. In my new chopping block, I grabbed this one from Revolution. This is their liquid powder. This I got a long time ago because I was hoping that it would be a very similar product to the Farsali. It was a primer that was super duper mattifying, and I wouldn't say that it's as good as that, but I did like it. And it just sort of got lost in the back of the drawer, so I thought I would pull it back out. It has pink clay to help keep your skin looking matte for longer, and rose extract for skin calming benefits, and a gentle rose fragrance. Looks radiant to me right now, but it does feel a little bit tighter, which I like. In the foundation category, I was picking on this one from Catrice. This is the HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, lasts up to 24 hours, mattifying, water and sweat proof, niacinamide. This is a very long-lasting foundation. I like this one better than Catrice's True Skin Foundation, especially if you are oily skinned. My problem was that I felt like sometimes it looked heavy and makeup-y on my face. What I have found through using it for the last 6 weeks is that if I use a very small amount and sort of buff it onto the skin, I get a very skin-like effect. I like this foundation. It's gonna stay. The one I'm picking on for the next 6 weeks or so is this one from Coats. This is the Face and Prime Protect Tinted Mineral Sunscreen, SPF 40. This says it's a primer, but it's tinted, so I'm hoping I can use this and maybe do a little bit of spot cover up because it has an expiration date of January 2025, so I'm going to use it. Here is what that primer looks like. I'm going to, ooh, it feels thick. Not my favorite, but I'm going to use my fingers and just blend it in. Light coverage. A little bit thick. I'm a little bit concerned for you. I brought in a really light concealer and not a skin toned concealer, so I'm actually gonna pull this Catrice back out because it is so thin. I think I can use it to spot cover up. So I've just put a tiny bit on my hand. I'll take this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush and just sort of fluff it on the brush there and just lightly buff any areas that I think need a little more coverage. That's doing a great job. Just keep it as light as possible. I'm finding that is the best recipe for skin-like makeup. Look at that. So there's another use for this. I grabbed my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in Fair Light. I was hoping to make an even bigger dent in this because I've been using a little bit more peach under eye correctors. I did not use it as much as I wanted to, and due to age, this will be the last time that I use this. I think there are less expensive options out there. For concealer, I was picking on this one from She Glam. It seemed to be too light, too dry, just sort of got pushed back. I pulled it, I forced myself to use it, and I think it is usable. Is it gonna be my most reached for? No, but I can make it work, especially with the under eye corrector, which I've been loving, the peachy under eye correctors. I put that on 2 or 3 dots, and then this one, I just put 1 or 2 tiny dots, blend it in gently, and it does a good job. She Glam is super inexpensive, so this might be one you'd want to look at. For today, I am picking on this one from KVD. This is the Good Apple Concealer, and I have mine in the shade 119. This, again, I've had for a very long time. I can't remember. I remember liking it, but do I love it? Let's get some use out of it before I think it's too old. Maybe if I fall back in love, I would repurchase. Take that e.l.f. concealer brush again, sort of look up and pat. I'm patting lightly. Good coverage. It's not looking super smooth under my eye. Let me just press it. I mean, I do have a lot of texture. Thank you, 50. Okay, the warmth of my finger did blend it in a little bit better. Under eyes are looking good. In August, I had chosen this one from Fenty. This is her Pro Filter Powder, and it's mid. It's mid for me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Mine is in the shade Butter. I wouldn't classify it as a favorite, but I don't dislike it enough to get rid of it. I do not like it under my eyes though. It is a little bit more matte than I would prefer under my eyes. And I have been getting a little bit away from the puffs lately, so I'm back to the brushes. I'm either using a big brush or a really small one. Today I'll use this one from Real Techniques. This is the setting brush. I love this brush. I have one in my bedroom and in here. And what I've been doing is just lightly setting, starting in the T-zone, and then just lightly going over the rest of my face. Whoop, just went under my eye. Again, this just attributes to that more natural skin look. And for under eyes, I'm gonna be picking on my Pat McGrath. This is her under eye powder in light. I do really enjoy this, but there are a lot of really good drugstore powders out there now as well. So I'm just going to lightly dust this under the eyes. One tap into the powder is all you need. I had put my Moira Liquid Contour Face Sculpt in Fair Light. I enjoyed using this. It is a really lovely shade, 100. I put this right over powder using a brush. This will go nowhere. And another one that I don't anticipate leaving, but just grabbed, is this one from Sephora. I want to confirm that I still love it before the Sephora sale. This is their contour stick. I have mine in the shade light to medium. This is a super soft texture. I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand. You can see the more cool toned brown that it is. Another thing I've been doing different is I used to use a really tight brush for the cream contour. I've been using a fluffier brush and I've been liking it. I don't know if this one is too big. Tried this one. This is a BH Cosmetics brush that's a little fluffier on the end. In my room, I have one from Alter Ego that I've been using. So this is a little denser, but you still get the idea. I've even used my JennDBeauty brush that's really small and angled. Small, fluffy, angled. I think that's what I want for my cream bronzer right now. It's working out. It's a little more diffused. Camera turned off while I was blending with this Sephora contour. Very nice. Before I move on to blush, there was one item that I found in the drawer that sadly I have to say goodbye to because it no longer exists. Is this one from LA Girl. This is their Glow Envy Bouncy Bronzer. Why, LA Girl? Why did you get rid of this? It is beautiful. I will make sure this gets a home with one of my friends or family because it was a stunning cream bronzer. And the powder bronzer that I was picking on in August is this one from CoverGirl, this True Blend So Flushed. I have mine in the shade Sunset Glitz. I just don't love it. It feels dry. It's a little sparkly. I'm gonna let it go. I didn't have a blush on the chopping block. I didn't bring it in, but last month for that video, I used one of the e.l.f. putty blushes in Bali. Love that, not going anywhere. For this new chopping block, I'm going to see if I can finish this liquid blush from Flower Beauty. This is the Blush Bomb, and I have mine in the shade Cinnamon. It's the right time of year. Let's see if we can finish it. I have one from Milani as well that's also very similar, but these are both beautiful. Again, with the fluffy brush, this one is the Morphe A22. I'm just going to spin the brush around and just lightly feather onto my face and just airbrush it on. Just loving that effect. Ooh, look at that color, so pretty. Fun fact, I love cinnamon. I enjoy a latte every day with my husband, and I am a cinnamon girl in my latte. Love it. The mascara that I chose for this chopping block is this one from Morphe. It's called Make It Big. I love it. It's just getting old, so I want to focus on it. The one that I chose in August was this one from e.l.f. This was the Lash It Loud. I'd gotten a baby, I think as a gift or some sort of special with e.l.f. I couldn't remember if I liked it, and I really don't recommend it. It is only okay. I have a new e.l.f. order coming in. Stay tuned for that video. They have some new stuff that came out, and while I was placing that order, I ordered the Lash and Roll. That's a better mascara than this one, in my opinion. I'm finding that I like smaller wands these days. So this one has a bigger wand, but the benefit of this one is that it just builds up super fast. I can be lazy and just put one coat on both eyes, and I have a plenty. If I have a bolder look, then I just take my time and build it up more. Here's one coat, and here is two coats. It's a nice mascara. Next, this is the Brow Glue. I love this. I just wanted to get all of it, and it is barely in there at this point. I believe I even have a backup. This one I do recommend. And for this next 6 weeks, I'm going to be focusing on this one from the Sephora collection. This is the Shape and Set. It's got an interesting wand, one that you can brush it through, the other to sort of flatten it down for lamination. And this I have recommended before, and I'm sure I will again. But I have found some good inexpensive brow gels, but don't forget that the Sephora collection, basically drugstore prices. For lipstick, I was picking on this one from MAC. This is the Bronze Shimmer, and I did not wear this as much as I should. I think this shade I'm just not that drawn to. I love MAC lipsticks. This is a few years old, so I'm gonna let it go. And another one that I love and need to give more attention to, that I will be focusing on for this next round, is this one from Chanel. Stephanie Marie recommended this. I just recently talked about this in my best lipsticks video. I will link it. I will pop up a picture of what this is called, but this is basically the liquid lipstick on the one side and the gloss on the other, and Stephanie Marie swore that this was the best. This was better than the one that CoverGirl has, that Maybelline has, that Rimmel has. She did a very in-depth video. You should definitely check out her channel. If I can find that video, I will link it. She convinced me to try this because I do like that style of lipstick, and it is fabulous. The shade that I have is Intense Caramel. It goes on very nice and lightweight. It dries down, and then you put the gloss on top. I did not bring in a lip liner. I do have this one that I chose to pick on last time, and this is the LA Colors Auto Lip Liner in Chocolate. I think I got this on Shop Miss A for $1. I hadn't touched it. This is a good lip liner. It's not as long lasting as some lip liners that I have, but it does last. So I'm just gonna use this one today. If you struggle with lip liner or just want to try something different, put on your lip liner after your lipstick. Sometimes I find that easier, and you can straighten out those lip lines, overline a little if you'd like. Give it a shot. Once the liquid lip part has dried, it does feel a little tacky, so I wouldn't wear it on its own. That's when you put the gloss on. The gloss is not sticky. There's a nice shine to it. When it wears off, the color underneath remains. That stickiness is not there. This, I have worn this for 12 hours and it still looks good. Absolutely worth the splurge. And because I've had it, I want to get some use out of it before it's expired. I did have my Milani Make It Last matte. I finished it. I'm not sure if I would repurchase it. It is okay. I'm gonna just use my AOA Flawless Matte Setting Spray today. I think this is okay. Once it dries down, you really do lose that powdery finish. And then I like to go back in with a little bit of the matte powder just in my T-zone, so I can enjoy that longevity and the glow on the outer portions of my face. And there we have it. I do have two more things in front of me that I'll be saying goodbye to. This Moira powder, this is their Soft Focus Waterproof Setting Powder. It's just too light and it feels too heavy. I can't use it under my eyes. I've heard there are other powders from Moira that are better. Give me your Moira recommendations. The other one is this one from Ulta Beauty. It is the hyaluronic acid setting powder. I believe this one has retired. I did enjoy this powder. Very brightening, very lightweight. They discontinued it. I hope that this was helpful. My goal is to inspire you to use the makeup you have or clean out the makeup that you are not using. I enjoyed this full face of nothing new. Of course, all of the products that I chatted about today will be listed and linked in the description box below. Some may be affiliate links, so if you choose to shop with them, I do make a small commission, and I want to thank you for supporting me and my channel. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing before you leave. I upload on Mondays and Saturdays. I would love to have you join me. Give the video a thumbs up, and of course, leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel about the makeup I played with today, or just leave me a heart and let me know that you were here. I would love to see you down in the comment section. Thank you for spending some of your precious time with me today. I will see you in the next one.